Today, I'm going to show you how I automated this entire website to create a website that potentially could reach $1 million in revenue. I've actually broken down the stats, as you can see right here. I'll come on to that in a minute. I'll show you how you can apply it directly to your website and your situation and your niche as well. Plus, I'm going to turn this into a step-by-step SOP so that you can steal the whole prompts from me. If you actually look at this website, so for example, if we go through some of these pages here, you can see that it's super fast to load. Not all of the pages work perfectly, but it creates something that's actually very, very useful. Like, you got all these calculator pages that we automated using AI. And this is not like you're creating some spammy, trashy website that's full of blog content that nobody's ever going to read, right? This is actually like really, really useful stuff that people genuinely pay good money for, but we're creating free tools around it. And the beauty of this is that you can create a nice UI, you can automate this, and it works for any single niche. So with that, let me show you exactly how to build this entire website. And I'll show you as well how we monetized it, plus how you can make money from this method as well. Now, bear in mind as well, in its first like week and a half, it's already got to 343 clicks. Now, some of those will be from YouTube videos and that sort of thing. But you can see just from the sheer amount of impressions, the average click-through rate, the average position, etc., to achieve all of that on one single page website, which is Enterprise SEO ROI Calculator, is nice. So why don't we just 30x that with a website like this and create something that ranks for multiple keywords, not just one? Some people say, oh, you got most of that SEO traffic from a YouTube video or showing this as a case study, blah, 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 which I understand makes total sense to me. We've actually checked this site out on Ahrefs. We can see that this site is directly on Ahrefs, already valued at getting 301 traffic. Now, this is a singular page, this site right here. Whereas what I'm going to show you today is how to create a whole massive website in a few clicks. It's automated with AI. So let's get straight into it and I'll show you exactly how to do this, plus how to break down the maths. So when we're doing this process, what we're going to do is we're going to go on to bolt.news, and then I'm just going to grab a prompt, which I'll break down in a second to just get the ball rolling. Now, this is how I built the best SEO calculator website, as you can see. Basically, I said, create a calculator website for the niche, and you would just replace this with whatever niche you're in. And then you're like, right, source context, this is buy. And you would just insert some information about you, plus where you want to direct the traffic to. Now, let me say this. If you have an affiliate link that you want to send traffic to, you just replace it with that. So if you want to make money with affiliate, you can. If you have a community that you're selling, you could do that. If you have a course, etc. Even if you had like just ads that you wanted to monetize with this website, you could actually just grab the ads code and insert it right there and then ask Bolt to embed it throughout your website so that you can start making money from day one. If you're wondering, okay, how do you make money with ads from day one on a website that's not approved, whilst you're waiting, for example, to get approved by AdSense, what I do for that is I just use AdStera, and then you can start making money from day one. You can see, for example, we have a balance, we get paid out every week or so, and then our sites just make money on autopilot using a similar process, but this is way better and way less spammy. I can actually sleep at night creating these sort of websites, which is great. So from here, what we're going to say is see all my list of keywords below. I'll show you how to get that in a second. Then add my social media links. So I think it's important to add some EAT and some information about you on the website just so that Google connects it nicely. The image of me, that actually didn't work. So I'm actually going to delete that. I'm going to say don't include an image of me on the site. And then every page must have a new page, navigation bar of each category. The other cool thing is when you build out a site like this, you're basically building out topical authority, because this website is basically the authority on SEO calculators. It's in the exact match domain. Every page is optimized to it. Plus, at the end, I'll also show you how you can use this on your own WordPress websites. But you can see how easy this is. Plus, the UI is super nice too. So I've shown you how to create the content, how to add some EAT to the site, how to customize this to your niche and your business, etc. And then what you can see down here, this is how we set up the calculator page before, is that we're going to change this list of keywords to whatever niche you're in. I'm going to show you some practical examples of how to find the keywords in a second. And also, one thing we're going to do as we create the pages is actually create them one by one, simply because I don't want Bolt to break. And quite often, if you skip this part right here, which I'll explain in a minute, then the problem is it's not going to create the pages in the way that you need them to be formatted to actually rank. All right. And then there's a few like troubleshooting prompts that you can use down here. So let me show you a live example of how to create this $1 million website. And the reason that I say it's worth $1 million is because I've done all the calculations on this, right? So this is just for like an average agency selling a service. Now you can replace this with whatever you want and get realistic inputs for your website. But basically what we're trying to do here, as you can see inside the key variables, is we've said, right, revenue target is $1 million. Let's say the average SEO agency's retention rate is 7 months. I only want to calculate it on the average. The monthly revenue per client for an SEO agency is on average like $1,700. And let's say the team's sales conversion rate is an average of 30%. From there, it actually does the calculations. It's right, lifetime revenue per client is that. Clients needed is this. So we need 84 clients from the website, which means that we need 280 leads at a 30% conversion rate. And we'll assume a typical 2% conversion rate from traffic to leads on this website, which means that we need 14,000 visitors. And then realistically, to achieve 14,000 visitors over the course of a year, we need 14,000 divided by 365 equals 38 clicks per day, right? Not that hard to achieve. Pretty realistic. They are genuinely like very average numbers for an SEO agency. And if you sell a service, then you can plug in the numbers. If you know the numbers for an affiliate website, then you can plug in the numbers. Or you can just ask ChatGPT to estimate those for you based on whatever way you're monetizing, right? So if you're monetizing with an info product, an affiliate link, ads, whatever it is, before you even bother creating the website, you can figure out the figures. And I've given you the prompt, as you can see right here, so that you can calculate that yourself, right? So let's go back to bulk.new, and we're going to take this prompt, as you can see. We're going to copy and paste that into Bolt like so, and then we are going to go to Keyword Explorer. And from here, we're going to find relevant tools for whatever niche you're in, right? So let's go back to our calculations. If we're in the SEO niche, then we want to find SEO tools, right? If you're in the health niche, you want to find SEO calculators. Whatever niche you're in, this is going to work. And the way that we can do this is we can put, for example, like SEO tool, like so. Then we can go for like KD 10 or less on the keywords. That's going to find us 98 pages that we could create. And we ideally don't want branded terms here. So we want to go for non-branded terms because we don't want to have any copyright issues, etc. And now we've got a list of 56 keywords for our SEO niche that we could create tools around. Now, thing to note here, right? When you're looking at this process, not all of these tools you're going to need to create, right? So if we look at this tool, it's like, right, affordable SEO tool, that doesn't really match the search intent of what we're trying to rank here, all right? We could also switch this around and we could go, right, okay, let's go for a specific tool in that niche. So let's say, for example, SEO calculator tool, right? Maybe the search intent is more relevant that way. And now we've got a list of keywords that we could potentially rank for here. So for example, SEO keyword profit calculator, keyword traffic calculator, keyword density calculator, etc. Right? If you're not sure, okay, what sort of niche, what sort of industry, what sort of keywords should I be searching inside Ahrefs or Google to find this information, then we can go to ChatGPT and we could be like, right, okay, find me what sort of calculators could I create on my website to rank on Google for relevant keywords from SEO agency. And then it will give you a list of ideas right here. And if we actually check some of these, so for example, if we go onto Keyword Explorer and we check this, it is quite an easy keyword. And typically calculate related tools, even in the SEO niche, which is very, very competitive. Obviously you're competing with the best SEOs in the world. Still, it's pretty easy to go for, right? And then we've got a bunch of ideas right here. So let's build out a list like so. Now, if you want the lazy way, the super lazy way would be like you grab all the keywords, you copy it in. But the problem is, and you slap it into your prompts, right? I want to kind of do it a bit more carefully because we're creating out a website that I really want to rank and I actually want to create something of value, right? Because when I look, for example, at this site, I'm like, this is pretty nice. Like this is actually creating something of value that's helping people. I would genuinely use that. I kind of wish there was something like that when I was getting started back in the day, right? Like strategy and goals, you got SEO goal setting calculator, Google SEO calculator, etc. Like pretty awesome tool if you ask me. And then it's got all the information on exactly how to understand this and how to use it. So let's cherry pick some keywords here and I'll show you exactly how this works. I'm going to change the niche to SEO calculators. Source, this is by Julian Goldie if you want a free SEO strategy session, blah, blah, blah. Every keyword, and then we'll go to Ahrefs and see what we got here. So golden keyword ratio calculator, that looks good. Ideally, I think you probably want about like 30 keywords off the list. So let's see what else we got. We should filter this down to like non-branded keywords. I think that will just make everything easier and faster. We got CPC keyword calculator. Perfecto. Let's change the search term to the link building calculator now. And also when you're doing the keyword research, right, you want to be careful here because, for example, like best keyword tracking tool, if you're just creating basic calculators, you probably need an API or something to set that up and actually create something of value. So I'm not going to go for keywords like that, but keyword cannibalization tool, that could be pretty good. Keyword clustering tool, I think that would be super useful. And just keep going through the list like so. Ideally as well, you want it to be like really long tail. Just be aware as well, some of these keywords will overlap in terms of keyword cannibalization. If that's to be, so for example, like keyword extraction tool and keyword extractor tool, right? Basically the same thing. So if you want to check this, what you can do is you can Google the keyword, and if you see different pages ranking for both keywords, then you would create separate pages. If you see the same pages ranking for different keywords, you create one page for that keyword. That's a very simple rule that will help you figure that out. You might not have time to actually test all the tools yourself if you're building this out. So number one, you could test them and come back to them later and actually edit the website that you deploy. And I'll show you how to go back and edit that later. What you can say is include a disclaimer in the footer that these tools are experimental. So use your own common sense too. Let's check how many keywords we got here. So we've got 17 on the list so far. And by the way, if you're not limited to the niche like me, you've actually got a lot more opportunities. Like, for example, there's someone in the SEO Elite Circle community who found a calculator tool keyword that has 250,000 search volume. Absolutely wild. And he only needed a few backlinks to rank for that keyword, right? And so when you're doing this process, there's some gems out there. I'm just limited to SEO because that gives me the best opportunity to get these numbers right here. But if you're watching at home, you could create something that gets way more search volume than this website ranking right here. All right, so now we've got a bunch of ideas for tools. What we can do from here is we grab the prompt like so, but we're only going to paste down to here. So we want to set up a separate page for each of these keywords. But the thing that I found is like, if you use Bolt to do this process, then actually it can break quite easily if you create them all in one click. So what I prefer to do personally is just take that prompt, plug it into Bolt, and then generate the keywords, but generate the pages one by one. The other benefit of this is that if you break it, you can roll back to a checkpoint, which I'll show you how to do in a second. And also, like, if you want to add more pages later, you can actually edit the project inside Stack Blitz, which is where we're going to deploy it. And from there, it will actually update via GitHub. And from there, it will actually update your website via a GitHub directory that's linked to Netlify. I'll show you exactly what that means and how it works in a minute. It all sounds a bit technical, but I am a no coder, and this is a no coding tool, as you can see. Like, literally, you just plug in your prompt and it's going to create a preview of the website right here. If you want to see an example of a website that's using a similar sort of process to get a lot of traffic, you can see, for example, nomads.com, and you can check out their traffic right here. So if we actually go to the keywords that they're ranking for and some of the top ones, what they've done is they've actually created like programmatic pages, for example, like the cost of living in Lisbon. And this is kind of like a programmatic table generated to quickly compare like the cost of living in Lisbon versus other places. Right? And so this programmatic method, it can work really well. If you've seen sites like Zapier, for example, getting millions of traffic, they use a similar process to generate their pages. So now we can see the first preview of our website. So there's our SEO calculators in the top left. Is generated a page for the keyword golden ratio calculator. It's optimized for that keyword, so it's included like a short little paragraph on how to use it. Embedded the tool. You've got the content underneath, and then at the bottom you've got the footer with all the information linking back to me, and it's got a nice little disclaimer as well there. And from here, what you can do once you're happy with the layout is you can paste this prompt here and just say, right, now create this calculator page. And we'll cross off the one that we did first of all, and then we'll move on to the next one. Now, again, I just think this is going to help you build out a much better quality website. You could try and create it all at once, but I don't think it's going to generate all the pages. I don't think they're going to link together properly. The actual content on the page probably won't be that useful and be quite thin content because Bolt is trying to do everything at once. And so it's better to like just test it step by step. And that might take you a little bit longer, but if you only have to set this website up once, it only takes you a little bit of time to invest up front, and then it ranks automatically like you can see right here, and you don't have to touch it, then everything is fine, right? Then I'm happy with that, right? So now you can see it's building out the rest of the website. Like you can see, if we check out the content on the page, let's see how long that is. I don't think it's going to be quite 500 words, but yeah, you can see it's 350 words. The main thing is it helpful? Is it useful? Is it contextually relevant to the topic? And does it add value, right? And you can see like the keyword is optimized throughout the page and the headings, etc. as well to try and rank for it. And that's basically how I ranked the previous one-page website. But now we're building this out into something much bigger that could attract a lot more traffic, right? So for example, if we rank for all our target keywords, which are all pretty low competition, and we generate maybe 10x the amount of traffic per day, then all of a sudden we're going from like 20 clicks a day up to 200 with just a one-time setup for creating the site. Now, one thing I've noticed on this site is that it actually doesn't have a homepage. So it's created the inner pages like the KGR calculator, the keyword difficulty calculator, content ROI, etc. And also the links in the navigation bar aren't working, right? So when you see issues like that, you can just tell, right? And maybe you want to as well give it your brand colors. So I've prompted it on how to set up the brand colors right there. And also what I'm going to do is inside the prompt, I'm going to say link throughout the site to my free SEO strategy session in the navigation, top of the page, bottom of the page, and the exit intent pop-up, right? Additionally, create a beautiful homepage design with links to all the calculators. Let's make sure the navigation bar works. Now, this back and forth process, it tends to vary each time that you create a website. So the prompts that I'm using might differ to the process that you experience yourself because it depends on how complex the tools are, how many pages you need to create, how picky you are in terms of how to create the content, etc. And also sometimes this can break. So it's never perfect first time round. So let's see what we got now. Now we got a much nicer design, as you can see. So it's got links to our free SEO strategy session. One thing you could do as well is, like, if you want to actually track the ROI of the website, let's say you're sending traffic to this funnel right here, or whatever funnel you have set up. Or even like affiliate links, etc. You could actually turn that into like a bit.ly link, and then you could track how many clicks actually come directly through that link. Also, if you have a CRM, then you could set up a UTM for that specific link to create separate UTMs for every single page, so you can track which pages are ranking the best, which page are sending the most traffic, etc. as well. So this looks 10 times better now. I'm pretty happy with that. It was incredibly easy to create. And already we have something that's turning out to be pretty nice, as you can see. The links are not working on the navigation, so we'll set that up in a second. But it's looking good so far. The other thing I was thinking about these particular pages is, like, if you look in 2024 and beyond, right, most people have a very short attention span. We've all got TikTok brain. And so writing informational content could be about as useful as a chocolate teapot come a couple of years, right? And so if you create something where actually people engage on the site, then the on-page metrics are going to be much better, especially if the UI is so clean and the website loads so fast with something like bulk.new. And so if the engagement metrics are better, that means more people are going to stay on the page, which means that you're more likely to have better on-page metrics than most of your competitors. And people will stay on the website longer, which also means they're more likely to convert. And so if you're creating something of massive value, like you can see right here, that actually helps people out, then it's going to have a much higher chance of ranking. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, yes, it's working beautifully right now. As you can see, these two pages, not so much, but the homepage, etc., it's looking nice, clean UI, pretty decent if you ask me. So now what we're going to do is start building out the rest of the site by using that prompt right here. And this is a little bit monotonous from this point, so I may skip through a little bit, see if I don't have anything to say of value, but we'll keep going now. So we're going to take this keyword off the list and strike them out once we've created them, right? So you don't want to lose track when you're building out this list, and that's quite easily done. And so I would just take them off the list as you create each of these pages. The other thing I would say is, like, it's really easy to create topical authority on this point because you're basically covering every single tool under a certain niche. And so that's going to help your rankings as well and work in your favor. Now, whilst we're waiting for all of this to load, what I'm going to show you next is how to actually deploy this and make sure that any updates you create bulk get deployed in the future too. So what we'll do, we'll navigate to that previous bulk new project that I created earlier today for the bestseocalculators.com website, right? Also, if we just go back to this page right here, it says problem. So we're going to click on fix problem. Hopefully that should sort it out. Otherwise, what we can do is just roll back to the checkpoint of when this project was last working, which will be up here, right? So it's creating that page. But in the meantime, right, so you can see here how it's got a bit stuck on bulk. So when it's like that, just take note of what the next keyword was. So for example, like this, and then just roll back to checkpoint. You can see, for example, here, even when we roll back to the checkpoint, it still has the dodgy code. So I just have to go back and say troubleshoot a couple of times. and then it was fixed. Just want to be transparent with you. Like, this is easy, but it can be quite time consuming when you're going back and forth to create a bigger website. So we'll take that prompt now, start creating the rest of the site. Hopefully that works this time around. All right, we're getting gradually through it, as you can see. It's creating some nice icons as well for each page. So we've got the keyword golden calculator ratio, CPC calculator, cannibalization tool, clustering, match tool, etc. What we'll actually do with the navigation bar is we'll cluster those into categories so that it doesn't become too messy. I'll show you how to redeploy in a second and how that works step by step. All right, so let me show you how to redeploy it. When you're creating the tool, you want to create it in stack.blitz, right? So you see how you can open in stack.blitz right there. Then from there, you can click on create a repository. Now with a GitHub repository, you can publish this project, as you can see right here. And then if you have a change to make, for example, like made this change, you click on create and push branch. Now inside your Netlify domain hosting, you can go to build and deploy, and then select the repository, which is live on GitHub, manage repository, and link it to the repository you created right here, right? And then when you push new branches of the project via StackBlitz, GitHub, it will update automatically inside Netlify. Now, this was thanks to an absolute legend in the SEO Elite Circle. So I've kept the details anonymous in terms of where they've hosted their site, etc. But this is basically how you do it. And then you can see inside your backend on Netlify, if you go to deploys, you can trigger a deploy and click on clear cache and deploy site. And that will basically deploy the new version of the GitHub repository you updated in step number 3. That's basically how it works in 5 simple steps. Kind of hard to get your head around, but then just test it out a few times so you get used to it. So let me create the rest of the website now. And at this point, it's getting a bit messy on the navigation bar. So I'm going to say, can you cluster the navigation bar into relevant categories with links to each calculator page? Now you can see that's updated really nicely. So inside each category here, we've got the icons and then links to each page, right? And you can see inside each page as well, we've got some nice content right there. And additionally, we can just use this tool. Like, I would probably actually use this tool. It's pretty cool. There. Let's have a look at some of these keyword tools. So for example, let's put affiliate niche, fitness, yoga mat, find affiliate keywords, and gives us a bunch of keyword ideas right here. That's pretty awesome. All right, let's check this particular keyword in Ahrefs, see where it comes out. So it's a valid keyword, right? Traffic potential, low keyword difficulty, and we just automated that with AI, right? Now, if you can give value like that on all your pages, that's just an actual useful website. Probably far more than the trashy blog and informational content that's going on out there with AI stuff. Let's try and create like 4 of these pages at once, just to see what happens. I think it's going to break, but we'll try and troubleshoot it afterwards, just to save a bit of time. Yeah, so you can see it breaks pretty quickly when we try and do that. Now, just whilst we're generating those pages, we had a few comments on the video yesterday that I wanted to help answer. So Ala was asking, like, could you please do a tutorial on how to integrate bulk generated pages to WordPress, right? So what you can do is you can ask for the iframe code from bulk and then plug that into WordPress. Now, when it comes to the actual content, you could just copy and paste that content and then plug it into WordPress. But essentially for the actual tool itself that's hosted and deployed, once you've deployed it on bolt.new, which you do here, you would just, as a prompt, say, give me the WordPress code, blah, 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 to embed into my website. And then you can see, for example, this tool right here is embedded onto our hotel for SEO content. And again, for the content, you can just copy and paste that, nothing special there. But for the actual tool itself, just embed it as iframe code inside WordPress. Now, if you're not sure how to do that, once you've got the iframe code from Bolt, you can just plug it into the text or as a HTML block inside WordPress. That's how you do it. Dr. Bios was asking, like, where can I find the prompts you're using in Bolt? So what I actually do is inside my free SEO course, link in the comments and description, we'll take the video notes from today, and inside the category bolt.new, so log in, go to the free SEO course, and inside the category bolt.new, you'll find a link to the video notes inside there. So log into the free SEO course, go to the category bolt.new, and then go to $1 Million Site, and you'll find the details right there. Jaden says Bolt is making us non-coders look good. Absolutely. I have no idea what I'm doing, and this is ranking really well. Let's call a spade a spade. I am not a coder. I don't know what on earth I'm doing. I do feel like this is such a hack for non-technical people, and it's incredibly easy to do. Sport says, but how do we get rank and get backlinks for this type of website? Creating a site won't be an issue. It's automated, but ranking it is really tough. So if you actually look at Income Stream Surfer's latest video, shout out to him. Like, he did a really good video on how to create one-page websites and how his ranked. And I don't think he built any backlinks to the page. So you don't necessarily need it. You can just go after really easy keywords. Now, additionally, what you can also do, so you can find similar websites who have linked to similar content and then reach out to them and say, hey, would you mind linking to us too? That's basically how we build links for all our clients. It's just like link inserts, because that's how you would naturally get content. That's how you would get backlink to your site too. Badass Optic says, this will be helpful to make a Black Friday deal page, then run meta ads. Yeah, I think it'd be perfect for that. So for example, you could create a Black Friday page, give it all the details about your offers, what's going on, etc., how to sign up to them, and then just launch it in one day. And it could be like, for example, for me, it could be like goldieagencyblackfriday.com, something like that, or SEO Black Friday, and you add all the Black Friday deals. Additionally, if you're an affiliate, like for example, you don't have your own funnels, you could create and rank a website with affiliate deals for Black Friday using a similar sort of process, and then having all your affiliate links on the website. Like, that would be pretty crazy. Suzanne was asking like any tips on how to edit the content after it's deployed, which I've covered inside the video notes from today. So you can see how to edit the content and redeploy it using this process right here. It's pretty simple once you've linked GitHub, and you can just update it that way. Gero was saying, please build a blog to the website, which we actually did as an example right here. So you can see like this kind of like, and here's another one we did, just messing around, right? So you can easily create like these sort of blog posts right here. I don't see a future for blogs. I'm going to be 100% honest with you, right? But I do see a future for programmatic like tools where you can create something amazing with AI and then create a lot of value when people land on your site, especially when you look over like the next 5 to 10 years. So that's basically it. And then once you've done that, you would click deploy once you're ready to go. And I've shown that process a million times, so check out my other videos on bolt.new, but that's essentially how you can create $1 million website. As I said, we broke down all the maths in the calculations, which I don't see any other SEOs doing, honestly, but like that's basically how you would do it. And then you can figure out, okay, based on all the numbers, does it make sense to create this website? And then from there, figure out, okay, how many pages do I need to create and how much traffic do I need to get per day to actually make this worthwhile as a project and to get towards my target revenue goal, which we listed right here, right? Now, let's say you're an affiliate or you're in ads. You could say, okay, customize this to my website about birds. What numbers do you need? And then it will calculate the average RPM, the current traffic, right? So let's say, for example, on another website, let's say current traffic equals 100 per day and average RPM equals $15. Just as a random example, right? And you can easily like Google and research average RPMs if you don't already have a website. But then from there, you can see, okay, number one, how many visitors you need, and number two, how terrible it is trying to monetize your website with ads. So you can see, for example, it's calculated the revenue per visitor and how many you need, determined the total visitors needed to make $1 million, which is 66 million visitors roundabout. And then you calculate the daily traffic from there, which would be 182,000 visitors. This is why I recommend funnels. Like, the maths just makes way more sense when you have actual funnels. I've got loads of videos on YouTube about that. So if you want to learn how to do that, just check them out. It's all out there for free. But essentially, if you compare 182,000 visitors per day to make $1 million with ads versus 38 clicks per day to make $1 million with revenue, you can quite clearly see that if you just spend like an afternoon creating a funnel right today, you've got a much higher chance of hitting that 7-figure number. All right. So thanks so much for watching. As I said before, that's how we build these sites out. That's how we rank them. That's how we do them for free. That's how we can easily automate them with AI, showing you how to redeploy them and how to get the maths right from the beginning before you even create the site, so you can figure out, okay, how many clicks per day do I need? And is that realistic? Additionally, I've shown you how to generate each page and create something of quality that is not complete trash. And if you want all the prompts from today, like I said, just go to the free SEO course, link in the comments description. From there, log into the free SEO course, go to bold.new as the category, $1 million website. All the video notes are down there for you if you want to see all the prompts from me. Additionally, if you want a free one-to-one SEO strategy session, feel free to book that in. Links in the comments description. We'll give you a free SEO domination plan based on how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visitors a month and generate thousands of dollars in sales on autopilot. On this free link building acceleration session, you get a free SEO domination plan, discover the secrets of link building, get your questions answered. You'll learn the best link building strategy for your website, plus how to quickly outrank your website, how to quickly outrank your competitors for link building, how to 10x your SEO traffic based on what's working for us. Feel free to put that in. Link in the comments description. Appreciate you watching.